Hey, good morning. Good morning. We're going to get started in a minute. My millionaire mentor will be in a second. We're going to do our affirmations for today and we're going to get started. Well, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Business Strategies Made Simple. I'm Dr. Tavis, the founder of the space where I share it with my millionaire mentor, Brian Jubert, who will be in a moment. But guess what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and get started on our affirmations on today. I am abundant in all areas of my life. I am abundant in every area of my life. I am a magnet for financial prosperity and abundance. I am a magnet for prosperity and abundance. I am worthy of receiving unlimited wealth and blessings. I am worthy of receiving unlimited wealth and blessings. I am open to receiving money and opportunities from unexpected sources. Now, that's one of my favorite ones. I am open to receiving money and opportunities from unexpected sources. And the last one, I am a wise steward of my financial resources. I am a wise steward of my financial resources. Let's go. Listen, we've been talking about limited belief systems and the blockages that they can have as it pertains to your money and talking about tax season as well. And so as we dive into this conversation and the dialogue of it all, I just believe, hang on one second, I just believe that as we're having these conversations and these dialogues, I believe that day by day things are breaking off. My millionaire mentor has come to the stage. Brian, I'm going to let you spearhead this on today as it pertains to tax season. You may have some new information that you want to give us on today. We did go ahead and do our affirmations. We did 5 of those. I'll repeat those because there are some more people coming to the room. I am abundant in all areas of my life. I am abundant in all areas of my life. I am a magnet for financial prosperity. I am a magnet for financial prosperity. I'm worthy of receiving unlimited wealth and blessings. I am worthy of receiving unlimited wealth and blessings. I am open to receiving money and opportunities from unexpected sources. And finally, I am a wise steward of my financial resources. Hey, Brian, it's tax season and there's a lot going on. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we will continue this conversation.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. Hope all is well this morning. Hope everybody morning is starting off fabulous. It's a Tuesday. It's Winning Tuesday. They always talk about Winning Wednesday, Motivational Monday. But why not have motivational Winning Tuesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday? And that's how I live. But my name is Brian, and I might sound a little funny. I had some dental work done yesterday, so I'm still recouping from that. So, yeah, please bear with me. But I just wanted to just touch bases, man. I am Brian, the tax professional, tax guru, business extraordinaire. In 27 years in the tax game, specialized in business taxes, real estate, and just really showing people how to live their life, advance their life, move forward through tax strategies. Because a lot of our money is tied up in taxes. And that's the one thing that we don't realize is that, we fall short a lot financially, but we're giving away too much to the government. And it's hard to win when somebody's basically taking 40, 50, 60% of your money. So my goal is to teach you how to leverage your money, your lifestyle through your taxes. So again, I am the tax professional, please call on me with questions, concerns. I don't care who you go to. If your questions are not getting answered, you need to take care of that. So reach out to me. If you have tax needs, back taxes, have questions, whatever, I'm here. We are family. Thank y'all.
Awesome sauce, Brian. My question for you, Brian, as this tax season, what are some things that you've seen differently this particular tax season that you can give us some information on that was not prevalent for last tax season?
Hold on, yeah. Well, Dr. Taps, a lot of it is with business stuff. That's what I tell people. Like the one thing that's going to really impact a lot of people is on the business side. But on the personal side, you just have some of the different credits and the different things that you're entitled to go up, like earned income credit. Those limits. Um, those limits then went up. So as far as much as you can make, that's helping a lot of people because you can make a little bit more to get earned income credit, the amounts that you can, get. But now, as we do better in life, a lot of us don't qualify as much for earned income credit because our income is up there. One good thing is some people gonna see, and I didn't even say some, maybe a lot of people are going to see a little bit of increase in their tax refunds if they're getting it, and maybe a decrease in tax liability. Because one of the major rules that nobody talks about and a lot of people really don't understand is that the tax brackets have changed. And see, the tax brackets are not based on what you actually make. The tax brackets are based on what you actually get taxed on as far as your taxable income. And that means after all your business losses, rental property losses, all of those type things. So once all of those type things basically are factored in, it reduces your income. Then you have your taxable income. So after the credits for your kids, all of those things, that's what you get taxed on. And one of the things about that is we're going to use probably the single status. Like at one time, anything under 35,000 was considered in the 12% tax bracket. So if you go over 35,000 as taxable income, you move from a 12% tax bracket to a 22% tax bracket. And that's major. That's 10% more you'll be taxed on your money for having a taxable income over 35,000, which is not a whole lot. But now what they did was they moved that up like $10,000. So now I can make under 45 and still be in that 12% tax bracket. That's something that a lot of people don't even realize. And that again, that's significant because again, if I'm saving 10% in taxes on my money, that can be helpful. So realistically, if I knew that I was doing that, this is what I tell people: if you normally in that 22% tax bracket, but now you didn't got a break, you would normally would have to pay an extra 10%. So since you're used to paying that extra 10%, don't look at that as extra money. Take that extra 10% and put it into a savings or into an investment account because you wasn't going to have it anyway. So why not let it work for you? So little things like that can be beneficial, just understanding the tax strategies and tax codes. That helps you a couple of places. It helps you on your taxes and it helps you in your investing. Um, we're waiting on the House to approve the child tax credit increase. Back in 2021, they was giving away a lot of credits and helping a lot of people. And one of the things they did was they shift the child tax credit to $3,600. It's typically for any dependent you have under the age of 17 is usually $2,000. But what they're trying to do now, because they're understanding things are getting tight again, so they're looking to give that credit again up to 3,600. Now, if you've already filed your taxes or you filed before the House approved that, then they're going to automatically give you that 1,600 if you qualify. So that is some things that's happening right now that's going to affect individuals that actually don't have a business, but on the personal side. On the business side, one of the things that's going to impact you is, again, if you're purchasing a new vehicle, because They were doing it at 100% last year. If you buy a new vehicle, you can write off 100% of that vehicle. Now it's 80% for this year, and then every year for the next 4 years is going to go down 20%. So if you're going to buy a vehicle, now is a good time to do so. But what they're considering as well in that same bill is bringing it back to 100%. So if you're purchasing a vehicle that's over 6,000 pounds and you're using it more than 50% of the time, you can write off 100%. And that's major. That's major in so many ways. And when I say so many ways, because not only are you getting 100% write off for that vehicle, the second part of it is because it's depreciation. It's a depreciation credit that you're getting. So what happens is if you're still looking to purchase something, buy something, invest, that even though if you buy a $65,000 car, it reduces your tax liability by 65,000, but it also adds what they call an add back. So it adds back into your income. So if lenders are looking to calculate how much you made, they don't take that away. So that adds back into your income, but you still pay less tax on that amount of money. That's a heck of a loophole. And that's what the rich and successful people understand how to play that type of game to still acquire things. So it's just a matter of learning those things, man, getting with the right tax professionals, tax strategists, and we got to utilize those because they're put out there for us to win. They put out there the mileage rate right now is at an all-time high. The mileage rate has never been this high before. So if you have a business and you're using your car for business, right now is the best time to keep up with your mileage because it's never been this high. And that's one of the best deductions as well. Plus, it's one of those add backs. They'll add the mileage back in. So it's a lot of things out there that really can benefit you if you really understand how to play this game. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does. Listen. I want to invite people to the stage because you may have tax questions. In addition to that, what I've done is I've added Brian's. The link at the top has Brian's link up there. So go ahead and make sure you reach out to him and ask him any questions, and go with a tax professional who you know is going to do your taxes correctly. But for those of you who have questions, raise your hands, come up on the stage, and ask your questions. Brian, that is so informative, the information that you've given so far. I believe that we are at a space where just those two nuggets that you've given us now. Remember, you came in some years ago and told us the money that we got back from all the money that the government was giving out to go ahead and reinvest that. And so I was able to invest a maximum amount of my Roth IRA for that particular year and also do some things for Adrian based off the wisdom that you gave, because you said something that is very key that I think everybody should grab is this. And this is going to require mindset shifts. So this is where that limited belief comes in, and shifting your mindset from, oh my God, I got some extra money, to wait a second, this is a way for me to invest. Rich people and wealthy people see money not as extra but as an investment. It's poor people that sees it as a consumer. So you got to stop thinking like, because we have to stop thinking like consumers, or what can I spend, what can I buy, what can I spend, what can I buy, and start thinking more like wealthy investors. You start today investing what, $50, then 100, and then it grows and it grows and it grows, and before you know it, then things have shifted. What you have to understand is time is passing us by anyway, so why not pass us by and us buy into how wealthy people live so that we can become one of them? And most of the people in this room, Brian, are believers. And we're always talking about the wealth of the wicked being stored up for the just, and talking about the wealth transfers. And, we love God. Well, if we love God, we'll be positioning ourselves to be kingdom builders and kingdom financiers. And that means we have to get out of thinking like consumers and start thinking like those that are leading the industry, the top 2%, those that are the millionaires and the billionaires who give us the wisdom and how to tap into a place. The first place to start is with your mindset and shifting your limited beliefs from, oh my God, I got some money, now I can finally do something for myself, to, oh my God, I have some money, now I can invest in myself. Brian, what do you think about that?
That's very important. Like you said, Dr. Tavis, is to understand that mindset. And somebody reached out to me yesterday and they said I have some short-term goals. And with those goals, one of my goals is I want to cut my credit cards uh, debt in half. And I want to actually get my savings. up to $5,000. What's the best way? And they mentioned that their credit score, they wanted to get their credit score over 800. They actually accomplished that, and they wanted to do the other two things. And I say, well, one of the things that you basically should do, one, you basically just said you got an unexpected raise. I said, take that raise because you didn't know you was gonna get it, and even if you knew you was gonna get it,
Wait,
you've
hold
been
up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I want y'all to listen because probably half of no, 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 one, two. If it's 20 people in here, however many people in here, I think I'm the only full-time entrepreneur here. Um, listen to what he's saying about you getting your raise. Listen to what he's saying. You said you want to invest more money. You want to be a kingdom financier. You said you want to leave a legacy. Here we go. Let's go.
okay. Okay. I got all y'all ears now. Some of y'all watching TV and doing some things. Dr. Tavis stopped and got everybody ear. But now, actually, what the concept behind that though is you didn't have the money before. So if you've been living off of whatever you have, and see, this is the whole when they talk about they have the two household incomes, and you should live off of one household income. So if I learn to live off one income, that means we'll never be in a bad position because if I'm consistently saving my money and we living up that one, if we ever hit a snag, we got money because we got that second income that we never even accounted for. That's the same way what you do with your raises. So that means is that if I've been living a certain way and budgeting and doing the things I need to do with this income, and now I'm gonna get a raise, my goal is to act as if I've never even got this money because it was money that I never had before anyway. So if I take that money and now I take it and I put a portion of it in savings and a portion of it in investments, I can never lose. I can never lose because actually my assets are growing. I'm still living that same lifestyle. Now, if my lifestyle was rough and it was tough or whatever it was, then you still need to go back and modify what am I doing to where my lifestyle is really just that tough. Now, in some cases, I say, well, if you're just not making the money, if you do a budget and you narrow it down to your necessities, and you say, I don't have no extra nothing. I don't buy no Starbucks. I don't eat out. I don't get my nails done. I don't get my hair done. I don't do anything extra. Everything my money goes to is necessities and I can't pay it. Then that means you just got a money problem. So if you get a raise, yeah, then you might have to allocate it to your necessities. But if that's not the case, which I don't believe that's the case for 99.9% of the people, we don't have a money problem. We have a money management problem. So if I get this raise and I act as if I never got it, I can take that money, and even if I took 70%, if I took 30% and allocated it to my existing money, and I took 70% and I put half of that in the savings, and I put half of that into my investment, I'm not losing at all because I'm building assets, I'm building retirement, I'm building future, I'm building comfort, I'm building security off of money I didn't have before. So don't look at it as extra money to go out and buy things and do things with. And that's the sacrifice that we have to make. That's the sacrifice that we have to make. And so and it's unfortunate because I don't know how many of y'all follow or know John Hope Bryant, but he's a millionaire guy. He has a foundation that's geared toward financial literacy. He's always in the black community. He's helping. He's always giving nuggets. And he came on the other day and he said by 50-50, I'm sorry, by 2050, because if we live to 50-50, boy, we gonna be some old mo. Yeah, but that's another thing. But he said by 2050 black people gonna have a zero net worth. We're gonna have we ain't gonna have no assets. We ain't gonna have nothing that we can basically, and we already last on the totem pole. In 25 years, people, it's not that far away. And if some of y'all as young as I am, you still gonna be relatively young. You still gonna be young when you get 25 years from now. And just think 25 years from now, you in the same boat or in a worse position because you didn't prepare when you had the opportunity to. This is why this is so important, man, to really understand that. So this is what I told her. I say, take your raise. I said, if you want to cut your bills and if you want to cut your credit card debt down, and you want to get your savings up, take that money, and not only take that money, match that money with the money you already have. So the money that you bringing in already. If some of y'all say, you know what, I'm in a pretty good position. I'm not. Um, where I'm suffering financially. It's pretty good. If you took that money and match it, and it don't have to be all of the raise. If you say I'm gonna take 50% of my raise and I'm gonna start investing and put that in savings and match that, match whatever you're gonna take and be dedicated to every pay period to put part of that into a savings and then the other part into your investment account. I guarantee you, your money is gonna grow so fast you're going to wipe out whatever credit card debt you're trying to get rid of. Because if you apply to the credit card debt every week, just take every night, and some of y'all, well, I'll say every pay period. Just think if you apply something every pay period to that credit card, you know how fast that credit card debt is going to go down? And let me tell you something, being debt free and not worried about bills at the end of the month is a hell of a feeling. And then you got money going into your savings. And what is savings is just like working out. When you start seeing results, you want to start doing more. Your confidence goes up, your walk goes up, your thrive goes up. And so what happens is now I'm not telling you not to take some of that money and say, you know what? Let me now, if I clear out my credit cards, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take part of it, I'm gonna still invest in the investment account. I have no more credit card debt. I'm gonna create a fund account. Now you can start taking that money and putting it into a fund account. And what happens is when I say fund, that might just be my talking right now. I'm talking like happy, going to stay in a nice hotel and ordering room service, or taking yourself on a trip, or going on a trip, or taking your tax man on a trip, or whatever it may be. But you put that money into that
Did you
account.
say taking your tax man on a trip?
Yeah.
You
That
going with that
came
to
out.
Cancun, right?
It came out like that. I didn't know.
You
My
said
bad.
taking your tax man on a trip. Yes, Brian, you did say that. I caught you. You going with
Oh,
us to Cancun, right?
well, it was in my mind, but I didn't know it slipped out though.
It is. It did it. I'm gonna let you continue, but everybody calling, you see them laugh. So yeah, we gonna have a
Oh.
good time this year, and we gonna be debt free in Jesus' name. All right, Brian, I'm gonna let you continue. I'm actually at my makeup artist preparing. I'm a guest lecturer at Norfolk State University on this morning, and so I'm actually preparing, getting my beat done for that, so that I can hop on the Zoom and educate those nursing students on how they can become entrepreneurs. Okay, I'll let you continue.
Woo woo, get it in, get it in. So, are your feet gonna be on the Zoom?
No, my feet aren't, but they pretty. My face, I'm getting my
Oh, you,
face.
you said that like I'm getting my feet done, I'm
I
getting my
said
makeup, and my
face
my
beat.
feet done. Like you gonna have your feet on the Zoom.
No, I did not. Y'all know Brian Corny, right? I did not say feet, Brian, and you know I
Uh,
didn't. Bye, Brian. I mean, not bye, but Brian. You on a
uh,
roll today. Keep telling us for real. I didn't have that goal to be debt free by the end of 2024. But you know what, Brian? My goal is to be debt free. All my credit cards at what did Dana say? 20 is it what 25%? Less than 30%? Because you got to keep them there and all of that. But I'm going to be debt free with 30% utilization, under 30% utilization on my credit cards for 2024. That's a new goal of mine. I'm going to put it on my board today. Thank you for that wisdom. Go ahead, Brian.
yeah, but is that is and it's a sacrifice because I'm a firm believer. I've always believed I can't miss what I don't have or what I didn't have. So whenever I got extra money, I never saw that basically as, oh, I gotta have this, I need to pay. Because again, that money was money I didn't have. So why not? Like if I put it into a savings account or investment, I'm not losing anything. I'm not because I didn't have it anyway. But I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking long term. And that's how we have to think. And so that's why when I mess with a lot of people about their tax refunds, and they be like, oh, well, I'm gonna take this money, I got to pay off this, and I got to do that, and do these different things. And I say, well, why not enjoy some of it, especially the ones who get bigger refunds? I say, why not enjoy some of it? Oh, well, no, because I got to do. I say, but it's money you didn't have before. Like in most cases, I'll say this, especially when people don't even think they was gonna get a refund, or their refund is way bigger than what they thought. So even if that's the case, even if you getting back, 4,000 and you thought you was gonna get back two, take that two and put it into a savings. Either put it into an investment account. When people say, "Well, I'm gonna pay off my bills and whatever," yeah, that's fine if you're gonna do that with it. But the other 2,000 you wasn't expecting. If you're getting 4,000 when you thought you was gonna get two, why not take that other two and put it into an investment account? Do something that's going to bring you some satisfaction. And I'm not saying blow it on any little thing, but do enjoy it and invest it if it's money that you didn't, because I do want you to find joy in it. Because the one reason why I say have a fun account is because what happens is it motivates us to want to do it more. If I go stay at the Ritz Carlton and I get in that big luxury bed and I get room service, I go down to that breakfast and they waiting on me hand and foot, that feels good. I want to do that again. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna create strategies now to put me in a position where I can do that again. And so you gotta do those type of things, but you gotta make sure, man, if you get that raise, extra money, whatever, allocate that money into your savings, pay off your credit cards, do something and be content. And you don't have to be all over the place. If you got 5 credit cards, don't try to pay on all 5 of them right now. If you say my goal is to be debt free, start with one. Start with one. And everybody have a different way of doing it, a different way of saying it. Like you can start with the biggest one sometime and then go down. But I say start with the smallest. And the reason why I say start with the smallest, because when we start with the biggest, it don't seem like it's moving sometime. And what happens is we get discouraged. So I say start with the smallest, because see, if I got 5 credit cards and I say I want to pay off all these cards, and I start with the smallest, and I get that little small one knocked out, I'm excited. I'm excited now. So I'm like, I'm anxious to get rid of the next one. So now if I get 2 of them out of the way now, I ain't even looking at the amount that I paid. I'm looking at I'm achieving the goal. Because if my goal was to get 5 credit cards paid off or really paid down to almost nothing, and I got 2 out of the 5, I'm excited because I'm achieving a goal. Sometimes the small victories is what we need. But then what I do is when I pay that first one off, that first one may only be $1,500. I may have a $1,500 balance. I pay that $1,500. I say, well, you know what? I'm gonna pay $200 per pay period. I pay that off. That's gone. But what I do is I don't take that $200 and think I got extra money. I take that $200 and I apply toward the next one. Because see, now that's $200 that I have that's free now. So I was already spending it on that credit card, so why not flip it to the next one? So just think, if I was gonna put 200 on the next one, plus the 200 now that I'm saving from the first one, that's 400. Now I didn't pay that one off in almost double the time because I'm putting 400 on. I was gonna spend the 400 anyway on each card each month anyway. I don't care if it's $30. I don't care if it's $60. Whatever your amount is, understand how that compound. Just like compound interest can get your money to a next level, compound basically investing, compound spending, compound, payoffs, all that actually helps get rid of those debts. So now I take that money and I put it toward the next one. And so now what happens is I got rid of 2 credit cards. I'm on the third one. I almost got that one. You know how exciting and motivational that is when I'm seeing I'm getting the results that I put out there, I'm goal getting. Be a gold digger. Be a gold digger, just not the GOLD, but the GOAL. It's okay. It's okay. So that's the strategies, man. But we got to be diligent about that. We got to be really, really intentional about doing those things. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. This is like, look at Aunt Cat gave a firecracker. This is hot off the press. This is the good stuff. I mean, my God, today, Brian, you brought your A game on today. This is blessing all of us. But this is my favorite season for you because you always keep us on top of what we need to do and also give us the genuine nuggets and the genuine tips. I'm believing that this year at the conference, and make sure you mark that first weekend off, Brian, to come and be with us in December, okay? That first Saturday. I'm believing that at the conference, we'll be able to testify on how we did debt free. I mean, all of these nuggets. Like, we're just going to have a session or a section at the beginning for short testimonies, because, these women can talk, but testimonials on how we have implemented what you all have given us. So I'm super excited about that. And we're going to have tangible proof. Like, I'm going to tell them to bring the paperwork that say this, because, people be lying. So we want the tangible truth of what transpired, what everybody has done, Brian, for these nuggets and these tools and these tips. Okay.
Sure, you're right.
Thank you. Okay. Listen, y'all, I'm excited, Brian, because I really am. I am going to be, everything paid. I'm going to be debt free at the end of the year. That is my goal. It is just February. I have plenty of time to get new clients and do invoice old clients and do everything I need to do honestly to implement this. It's just a different. I think my mindset shifted with this conversation. It worked the last time we had the conversation, and you gave us all these nuggets too. I implemented some things as well. So I am, along with some of these other ladies, we are definitely going to implement the tools and the tips that you're giving us on today, Brian. Does anybody in the audience have anything they want to come up and say? I see we have some messages, but I can't see. Honey, my glasses, I can't see. Let me see, Brian.
All right, and the message. Let me see. All right. So one of the questions is, if I dissolved a single member LLC in 2023, how do you document that on your taxes? Also, do you have to contact the IRS to let them know, since the LLC's EIN will not be used anymore? No and no. You don't have to really document it at all. Nor do you have to contact the IRS, because a single member LLC, if you don't do anything with it, is only if you have a LLC that's taxed as an S corp. Then you would have a situation where you would have to then, inform the IRS. Well, you wouldn't really have to inform them on your tax return. It'll have final return, and if you check final return, then it'll let them know that you're not filing that return anymore. EIN numbers, you don't have to do anything. They just sit there. If you don't ever use them, you don't lose it or anything. But if you dissolve a single member LLC, it's nothing that you really have to do. Does that answer your question?
That does answer the question, I'm sure, Brian. Well, thank you so much for today, Brian. We're going to get out here a little bit earlier because I am headed home to get my mind right and to prepare for this amazing opportunity to be a guest lecturer today, Brian. Doors are just opening. I mean, just God is just doing some amazing thing, not just in my life, but other women's lives that I'm connected to as well. So we're super, super excited about it, excited about even more opportunities to speak at other universities and other corporations, especially about time management and the psychology behind the behavior of time management and all of those things with everything that's going on in corporate America and all the layoffs and all the pandemic. So I am definitely expanding my reach to different organizations. So if you have an organization that can utilize my skills and got a nice little budget, I would be more than happy to come and speak to your people about what we have going on. Listen, next month, Ryan, is Women's History Month. March is Women's History Month. So we are going to be doing some amazing things with Women's History Month. Some things will require a fee and some things will be free. So be on the lookout for those things. I'm waiting to get all of those graphics and things back with that. Super excited about what we're doing in this space and other spaces as well. March is a major month because several of my programs end on next month. And I'll be starting some new things probably in April with a whole different twist and a whole different term. My mastermind will be ending for some people. And then my mentorship group will be ended for some people as well. So, super excited about the twists and the turns as we shift our mindset and change our mindset, our limited belief systems, and tapping into something new. One of the things that Brian, or several things that he said today, that I want us to make sure that we take away is number one, if you get a raise and you have unexpected money, it was money you wasn't expecting anyway. So make sure you invest. We have to learn how to shift our mindset from being consumers to be invested to being investors. Hey, Brian, give us some last words and then we'll get out of here.
Well, I just want to say that if anybody, I know you say most people are W-2. I don't know how many of y'all have businesses. And you can DM me. If you're not following me on Instagram, definitely follow me. But DM me and tell me why you don't have a business. If you're not a business owner, and this is not, I'm not chastising anybody. I just want to know why. Because I'm a firm believer like that you need to have a business, even if it's for tax purposes, because if you have a W-2 and you don't have a business, you're probably losing out on a lot of money, and I'll explain why. But if you don't, DM me on Instagram and let me know why you don't have a business. I'm curious to know. And again, I'm not judging nobody for it. I just want to see, why, and then maybe we can talk about it if it's something that you're considering, or I just want to get your understanding of why. And then also the people that don't have businesses, I put out challenge. I'm gonna post a flyer. I got to get the flyer made, but I was doing basically a $50 business assessment, allowing you to get your business assessed of why you're not growing, what you need to do, where you need to be at, whatever goals you have, how you need to get there, with a 2-hour consultation. And realistically, for $50, that's a value that most people would never see. So if you're interested, you can go to my website, richboyinvestments.com, and there's a make a payment button on there. And so, I'll get an email, but if you do so, just DM me and let me know, that you did it. And let's get this started, man, because one thing that Dr. Tab has said, that which I'm telling people to really kind of change your mindset, especially with her being a little bit more established. But you said, well, it's February, I got time. And what I've been telling people to do is work with urgency. Work with urgency. Because right now, that's where we at, though. We're in a situation where we need to work with urgency. Because if you've been in the same position that you've been in for the last 3 to 5 years or plus, you don't think that's a call for urgency to let 5 years go by and you either in the same place or in a worse situation? That calls for
Well,
urgency.
Brian, let me interject right here because I'll tell you one thing that you're going to have to address because I've addressed it before is the limited belief behind let me not work with this because I'm going to have to pay the fees every year. And that's a mindset issue. That's why we have to talk about these limited beliefs because most of these ladies have LLCs, or I've seen people that don't want to start one because they don't want to pay the yearly fees. Now, to me, it's asinine, but I understand, that because if you're going to grow, you have to invest money. And so we have to shift people's mindset. That's one area, Brian, that you're going to have to tackle is a shift in the mindset from worrying about a $150 fee when in fact you're building legacy. One of the things that you taught me, because I have maybe 7 businesses that I pay fees on, but this is what you taught me. That is currency that we know not of. Because when you go to the bank, they're not looking at did you just open the bank account yesterday? They're looking at, wait a second, this business has been established since 2001. That shows a sense of consistency. And so for me, one of the things that I think you taught us this, one of the things that I'm going to do is my grandchildren will have a business that's established. I'll pay the little fees so that my grandchildren can have businesses and they will have something established already, that they can build upon, right? And so this is a way to leave a legacy, and a way that we have the capacity to leave a legacy. We think we got to have $5 million tomorrow to leave a legacy, but this is legacy building situations that we're creating. So that's one thing that we're going to have to address, Brian, is investing in your business and knowing that running a business is not free. It's just not. Like, it's just not. So that's something that I definitely want us to address. I've been talking about passive income. I have a passive income vault, and I've been talking about people creating passive income. Another thing we have have to address, Brian, is everybody wants to be a millionaire tomorrow. Nobody wants to weather the storm. Nobody wants to, okay, it may not happen tomorrow, but if you're consistent, eventually it's going to happen. All of those things is what I'm seeing that's happening, because everybody wants everything quick. They want it right now. I didn't make money yesterday. Well, you ain't posted in 5 days. You don't have an audience. You're not nurturing your audience. All of these things, it takes time. And I really wish at some point we have to address that limited belief and shift in that mindset to, oh my God, I paid $150 to, when your grandchild turns 18 and you hand them a business 20 years old, that's money in the bank, literally, almost, if you haven't messed up the business credit and the name that the business is in, Brian.
Yeah, and that is something that needs to be addressed. That's why I want to talk to people, because people say, well, don't I have to pay every? But Dr. Tavis, you basically added some extra on there, because it ain't even 150. It's $50 to maintain your LLC once you get it. And so my thing too is we'll address that for anybody to have it. But like I said, that's sometimes that people really don't be thinking, like, oh, that's an extra fee. I don't have that. Nah, a $50 a year, yeah, it's gonna be hard pressed for me to believe, if you're serious, that you can't come up with $50 a year. So, I know you got a role, but yeah, anybody that want to take advantage of that, man, definitely reach out. Let's get started. Because we do have time, in the sense of, it's February to turn around your business. But don't get to the point where you wait too late, and now it's June, and now we're 6 months into the year, and you're trying to make some major moves. Because I tell people, after the second half of the year, it's almost time to start focusing on the next year.
This is so good, Brian. Listen, y'all, we're gonna wrap this thing up. I'm excited. I get to speak on, and I'm giving the students a copy of my book, business strategies made business strategies made simple. What I wish I would have known before starting my business. And so it's from the LLC, the incorporation, all the way up to they're getting a business plan in that as well. So I am excited to be, like I said, having this conversation with them, talking about fixed mindset, growth mindset, and some avenues that they can take when they graduate from college. To be able to start their own consulting businesses. So, hey, this is a twist and a turn for me. Well, it's not a turn in my business. I've always talked about this language. That's why I have ebooks and everything concerning it. This is just, when I, sometimes what you're producing may not be for now, or God may give you the opportunity to revisit what you already know and what you already do. This is what that particularly looks like. And Brian, remember, a few years back we talked about this. I think we had maybe 100 and something women in the mompreneur club around that time to start their LLCs, and a lot of them still have their LLCs. So Brian is definitely a voice of wisdom for all of this. Take him up on his offer. His link is in the link above. Remember, tomorrow we will be with 10G, with social media, getting TikTok famous, or really getting all of our stuff together for TikTok to make money and that stream of income. If you are complaining about money, if you are saying you need more money, there are different avenues and different ways that you can be financially savvy. And one of them is in the social media space. It's not for everybody, but if you come to me and you're complaining about money, I'm going to ask you, number one, do you tithe? Number two, do you sow? Number three, what avenues, what are you stewarding the money that you already have? And number four, what are you going to do about it? And so now it's time for us to take ownership of where we are, instead of complaining all the time about what doesn't exist, complain about opportunities that no, and then go out and create opportunities, or show up enough that opportunities will come to you. Show up enough that opportunities will come to you. Did you know that there are people that right in your presence, that when you are ready, this opportunity, I know the person, but when you are ready, the opportunity shows up for you. Opportunities only come to the prepared. What are you preparing for? Or are you murmuring and complaining and waiting for a pie to fall out of a sky? Even if a pie fell out of the sky tomorrow, you need to be prepared, because where are you going to put that pie? I'm Dr. Tavis with my millionaire mentor and my mentee, Joanne, on the stage, excited about what's happening and excited about us changing our limited beliefs as it pertains to taxes, money, and our money mindset. Thank you all so much for joining. This room is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make it a great day. Bye.